Hi, Brian. How you doing? Design development, phase three, part two. Your revised or amended submission looks fantastic. And yes, you are very, very close. You're well on your way here. You're definitely ready to start assembling phase four. Good job. Let me just go through some comments here. Okay, tickets look fantastic. One thing I would recommend is let's do some research on tickets. Jump right over to Google image search Olympic event tickets. Take a look. Um, there's a lot. There, a lot of these are from that London 2022. I think there's some from Rio. But the point is you get a good look, a nice close look at um, the actual ticket itself. So it shows, the date, the time, entry code, the word mark, pictogram, logo, fifth element items, rings, got the event name, got a little tiny illustration of the location, which I think that's really interesting. That's the stadium that holds the bike event. Got your entrance and your seat information, price, et cetera, et cetera. Then you've got your UPC. So I think that's a really good point of research that you could add some interesting elements to your tickets. Right now, the tickets have very basic information. The only thing really you have is the UPC. So think about that. Also, top of the tickets, Zakopane 2022 is really super close to the edge of the ticket there, the file, because you want to follow what's called a no print zone. Printers usually recommend a 1/16 of an inch or so, depending on the printer. And the reason they do that is because if you place graphics that aren't intentionally bleeding, okay, like that ski's bleeding off the side of the page, and that's a given. We know that, but this is so close that if this isn't trimmed perfectly, you're going to end up cutting off some of the words. And that's a problem. So I'd say move that down a little bit. And then you're also pretty close to the edges. So I would just reduce the size of that. Well, maybe not that much, but maybe something like that. Move it down and reduce the size a little bit to get it away from the sides. And that would follow the recommended no print zone. I think that would really add some, or actually I should say it should take away some of the visual stress, visual tension that's being caused by I think it's an uncomfortable visual tension by the type being so close yet not bleeding. So definitely think about that. Okay, this shot is great. Definitely a low resolution image here though. That's going to have to be replaced. See how badly damaged those pixels are. Also, the logo itself looks like it's been stretched. We can see that by the rings are ovals now. So again, could be in the rendering, but try to work around that so it doesn't look so long, elongated. Next page, great job, good crop there. That looks fantastic. And then some of these other shots are cropped in a little too close, I think. Like this, I think would be great if we were to be able to zoom out of this, get the focal point a little further away so we can actually see the graphics that are on the ice. Same thing here. These are really super cramped. This one's pretty cool though. This one's good. It shows exactly what the event is and then how the graphics interplay with the event. So that's a good one right there. Bib looks fantastic. One thing I can see at the top of the bib is you got this white area at the top of the bib, so you can't really tell where it ends. For that reason, I would just hairline stroke black or blue around the top of the bib just so we can see where the edges of the straps lie. Good mock-up right there. Good, solid mock-up. Excellent. Merchandising, clothing apparel look fantastic. Merchandising hats and patches and ties and lanyards and these all look great. Really fantastic. These look great. These look great. Okay, this is good. I think this is a bus station. I would like to see some more environmental graphics in terms of showing the actual stadiums and how your graphics package is applied to the stadiums themselves, outsides of the stadiums. There's a couple of examples of that in those examples that I posted in the announcements area, so be sure to check that. Plane looks fantastic. The bus looks just phenomenal, but the problem with the bus, as I can see, is that it would be a lot more interesting if this bus were in a live setting as opposed to a white background. This looks good, but boy, why does the airport have to be empty? Wouldn't it be more interesting if there was people aplenty in this shot, airport shot? I think it would just be so much more interesting. And then also what you could do is you could take the graphic itself and you could add some things. Hang on one sec. Sorry, but you've got the graphic up here, right? I would go ahead and bleed that off the side of that edge. Right now, just looking too stark where it just ends to white there. Ends to white here to hold the logo. That's great. But let's just bleed that off the edge of the page, off the edge of that poster there. And then think about banners. You can place banners right on these poles right here. I think that would be cool. Definitely be cool. I think it would add stuff. And try to get images with people in them. I think it would be a lot more interesting. Let's move on. Zakopane 420 Lutego 2022. I'm not real sure what that means. But again, watch your no print zone there. You're getting kind of close. Not as bad as the tickets, but nonetheless. Banners look great. Environmental graphics look fantastic. Good job there. This image looks a little forced because you're kind of trying to force too much in one image. I would select some other images that, other outdoor images. And that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'd like to see. I'd like to see some outdoor things, buildings and some more things like that. Maybe maybe you could find a way to apply graphics to buildings. Because right now, this looks good, but it's forced because this just looks forced in there. So if that image were to show the corner of the building with the poster applied, I think it would be great. But adding that over on the other side, I just think it looks a little forced. So try to find some other images that are interesting. Good job, good job. This looks fantastic, just fantastic. The front cover, this mock-up here looks like it's a square format. However, this looks like more, it's like 8 by 10 or 8.5 by 11. So that could just be a rendering, but it looks a little inconsistent. The placement of the graphics down here at the bottom of this page, bleed that whole image right there. This looks forced right here. Remember, you don't have to put your graphics on every single page. Also, typography, if you take a look at the type and imagine this as a printed out page, this type is going to be huge, 16 or 16 point, 14 or 16 points. It's going to be just enormous. So I would recommend reducing the size of that type there. Fantastic, great ideas here. Again, though, well, that looks good. I'm not sure how that works, though. If that's a low resolution image or not. Check your image size here. Wonderful mock-up there. Wonderful, wonderful. Website looks good. One thing I'd recommend on the website is this sidebar here is a little confusing. Viewer, if I were to look at this, I wouldn't know if these are links or not. I don't know if you need even all this Fifth Element stuff on your website. It looks a little cluttered to me. So maybe just your logo and then your horizontal word mark. You got your navigation here and you got the sidebar here. Now what I would do here is I would just take that sidebar and remove it and just have your page and the information on the page. Because right now this just looks too cluttered. The path of the torch, that's great. I would key in on that a little bit more. You show the path, and that could even be a page in your phase 4 is the path of the torch, and show the torch. The torch that's created for this particular event, and then show some mock-up some images of runners with the torch. I think that would be really, really super interesting. As far as this page goes, though, if this is a page that's featuring the run of the torch, let's get a title on there. I mean, I know that you have your navigation up here, but wouldn't the viewer need to know what page they were on with the title? Also, everything here is related except this featured links page. I would remove that. Don't need that. It's cluttering up the page, and it goes straight to merchandising. You should, I'm sure, have a merchandising link up top here. That looks cool. All right, good job. Great job. Fantastic. You are well on your way. All right, any questions? Let me know. Thanks.